Hey there, Maria back with another video. So I just wanted to come in here and make a quick video, kind of sorting through some old stuff that I used to have. It's just one of those days. So my internet is running really slow right now, and I'm dealing with some issues with that relates to all of that, which hopefully it'll be resolved by this evening. But I just wanted to come on here and make a video. Since my internet's really not really working up to par, I decided to pull out some old CDs that I've had that have been really literally collecting dust. Okay, I pulled out the first tray. There's like another tray downstairs, but these particular ones in this tray are like ones that I was able to keep, mainly because a lot of my CDs got damaged. You know, that happened like when I was moving a bunch of times. I had cases to keep them safe, but they come out and they get smashed or they get scratched. And so I'm just grateful to hang on to some of these. Funny thing is, I actually found some old cassettes that I can't play. I mean, I can't play them at all. I do have this little CD player that I purchased many years ago. My son recommended that I get, an emergency radio. So just in case there's an earthquake, I can have something to listen to if I needed to, which I did purchase that. And it does have a CD player. So until this little issue with my internet, gets resolved, at least I have some music because, I feel like I always got to have music in the background. There's some times where I enjoy silence, but that's not something that I particularly like, especially, since I'm the kind of person who overthinks. It's just like the music kind of takes me away, and sometimes the music helps me, prompts me to think about different things. I was happy to find this particular CD. I'm going to show it to you. It's called Transplanet, and there's different volumes of them. They had like volume 1, volume 2, so on and so forth, but this one right here is my favorite. I purchased this many years ago in a little store. I think the store was called Windows of Light. It was a place that was located in Tehachapi, and there's just like so many good. I have to say that there's just so many good songs on this. I would say that I like every song that's on this. I think my favorite one would be number 14. This one, I think I mentioned this one before. It's called Gracias a la Vida. And it's just a really deep song. I mean, the person who's singing, it's actually sung in Spanish, but it's a very intense song. She sings so well on it, and it's just beautiful. I mean, I don't speak Spanish, but her intensity just kind of comes right through. And I did look up the history of the song, and I'm like, oh my gosh, so much was actually communicated in that song, and I didn't even understand the words. You know what I mean? That's how deep music can actually be. So anyway, so I'm sorting through all of that. I think I'm going to show you something else. I did have this cassette. Okay, I found this cassette. I cannot use it obviously because I don't have a cassette player, but this was one of those little cassettes that I remember playing continuously on my old stereo system when my son was growing up, and we would just listen to it. It's a beautiful, like the instrumentals on this is just so beautiful and so relaxing. There is a lady who does sing on it. She just basically, I don't know if she's like humming or whatever, but she has this really beautiful, almost ethereal voice. I really like this one too. And then let me see what else do I have here. I noticed I saved a lot of these right here. I purchased like different kinds of music throughout the years. I always wanted to experiment with different sounds, mainly because it helps modify the mood and puts creates a certain sense of like ambience in the house. This one was pretty good, and this one didn't cost a lot either. I think I picked this one up at like a dollar store. Seriously, I was just like, okay, I'm interested in music, hearing things I haven't heard before. This was one of those rare ones. This was something that I used to listen to a lot at night when I went to bed. And this is another one. I got this one, I believe, at another dollar store. It's just like it's instrumental mood magical panpipes. I like it because it was like really nice during the afternoon to listen to. And this is another one. I was really into panpipes for a while. And so I ended up getting something similar. This one wasn't so bad either. I got this one too. I don't know if these are still out there on the market or not, but if you get a chance to, I will say this particular one, the one that I was talking about, the Transplanted, it's kind of rare. And I remember like liking it so much that I made sure that I bought an additional copy because it seems like it's getting very difficult to find that. But if you're somebody who has an eclectic taste and wants to experiment with different music, just like for relaxation or just to set like the tone for your house during the day, I suggest you try it. It's got music, international music from all over the world. And like I said, it's not so much that I understand what they're saying. It's more like, I'm just kind of getting, I don't know, mesmerized by the different sounds. And some different cultures use different sounds, different instruments. You know what I mean? And it can be quite meditative and relaxing. Let me see if there's something else I want to share and recommend. Oh, this right here. Oh my goodness, I love, 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 love this CD. I think it's one of my favorites, and I will like put it on every once in a while, especially during the springtime. This is like so beautiful. The music in here is just really relaxing, and I don't know, it just puts you in that mood, and it gives you this feeling of well-being. I like this CD a lot. It's called Isles of Avalon. And I'm going to tell you right now, this particular CD is very difficult to get. Okay, so if you can find it and you're interested in listening to it, let me just kind of give you an understanding. It's medieval sorcerers put a curtain of ancient mist transporting you to Glastonbury, England, where King Arthur and Lady Guinevere wait. Um, Isles of Avalon is a light romantic epic incorporating French, Celtic, and British melodies. Now, obviously, I'm not from these backgrounds, but I will tell you the music is very beautiful. So I remember liking this one a lot. And it is one of these CDs that, is very rare because I think this one was created back in it was actually made in 1998, and it is pretty hard to find. So if you can find it and you liked having like instrumental music, this is a really good one. There's another one that I liked a lot. I want to share before I go into what I was going to talk about. This one right here. Oh, what did the top of it go? Oh, this is no good. Shoot, it looks like I have the CD, but I don't have the top of it. I don't know what happened to it. Probably got wrecked, but here it is. This is one I did. I did order 2 copies, and thank goodness I have 2 copies. Autumn in New England. I love this. I believe it was created by, who is the person? Oh, David Huntsinger. I love it. Every autumn I listen to it. I mean, it just makes me feel so happy, and the music is just so, I don't know, relaxing, and it helps you be more imaginative. And some music is just so beautiful, like you can just see sceneries just unfolding in your head. You know what I mean? So I would say these are my favorite CDs, and if you want to check them out, I suggest that you do. Some of these are available. You can listen to them on YouTube. I know that somebody posted Transplanted on YouTube a while ago, and then they took it down. I don't know why they took it down. Maybe, I don't, for whatever reason, I don't know why. But I kept thinking, this, Transplanted to me is like precious. So I made sure I ordered another copy. I'm going to keep it in mint condition. And hopefully one day I will be able to have a better system to play it on than what I have now. I haven't really put a lot of focus on, like, what do you call it, equipment to listen to my music. But I should really, I really should, because I definitely love music, and I usually listen to music on either on my computer or on my TV is what I usually do. I don't really have a stereo, and I haven't had a stereo, I would say, since those times. So it's been a long time since I've had one of those. So I was thinking today, I went out and I was thinking as I was walking, I was thinking about. I did a video earlier. I haven't posted it up mainly because of the internet issue, but I will post it up later on tonight. I was talking about, some of the frustrations that people deal with in the workplace. And, I was talking about, the cost of living, how hard it is, and, how things just become really burdensome. Sometimes we have work jobs that we don't particularly like, and there is no, like, work-life balance could be non-existent when you are in a situation where your foundation would be your job or whatever. It's just like an absolute mess. Some people think that getting paid a lot of money for a job that you don't like, is worth it, but I'm going to tell you, really, in my opinion, I would say it's not. Especially if you feel as though that job is taking you away from everything that you really like. All the money in the world is not going to make you happy. You know what I mean? So I kept thinking, I know when this issue, a little after leaving Murray Family Farms, I started really understanding, what the problems are going on in the workplace, and I really wanted to get like, I'm not going to do that now, but this was one of my ideas that I had, was to contact companies like, I think it's Fred Pryor or a Career Track or whatever, and I talk about some of these things that are really important. I wanted to talk about things like, obviously workplace bullying. I wanted to talk about, really understanding sexual harassment, racial harassment. Also, I wanted to talk about, people being fit for their jobs. I did remember talking briefly to my husband about this issue. And, I always wonder, because I think that I was being surveillanced at that time. And now that I'm thinking about it, and I often wonder, were people trying to steal my ideas? Were people trying to steal my ideas? And I only hope that people didn't do that, because mainly because I honestly have a very little distrust of people. Like, I don't trust them at all. And I do know that a lot of times people take credit for things and they can do those sort of, whatever. But yeah, I worry about that sort of stuff. But I do also worry about the fact that, when I was dealing with all this targeting and the downloads that I was getting from the people who were involved, like, there was a lot of, like, focus on, like, when it came to my targeting, there was a lot of focus, of course, on stuff that I didn't understand. Like, the focus on, like, my relationship. Like, I was married at one time and I ended up getting divorced. And then it was, like, always some other drama about me liking somebody that I didn't know or whatever. And I kept thinking, well, it bothers me about this issue is that the issue of people having to deal with a work life that is so unsatisfying. I would like somehow, and I know I can't change the world, okay? But I keep thinking, if people forget this part of the message, if people forget or think that this is not important, it is important. I mean, who cares? I mean, you don't have to worry about my relationships and stuff like that. That's not even the issue. The issue is that there's a lot of suffering going on, and I wish it would stop. You know what I mean? I wish that people could be more balanced in their life. They could find work life balance, but it's almost impossible to do when they're living under those sort of circumstances. Um, I'm not like really focused so much on the work life, but I do have compassion for people who are, who are stuck in this. I don't want to ever step in another workplace ever again. I don't want anything to do with it. I understand it's very difficult for companies to find people who are in the right management position, who knows how to set the platform for a productive work, productive work environment. But it's also the issue of people in higher positions of authority who, and I'm not talking about like, triangle, whatever, pyramid type stuff. I'm talking about people in the workplace, um, people tend to not really think or value the emotional life of their workers. They don't understand what an important part that plays in their day. When people aren't happy, they don't want to produce. They don't want to give. They don't want to contribute. And I think the solution of it is just like people really. Well, it's not the ultimate solution. There really is no other solution. I mean, like ultimate solution, because you solve one problem, you got another fire to put out, right? But I do think it's important for number one, for people to be able to find the balance in their life by having better choices, having a say in what they do to make a living. Also, I think it's important for people to understand, their rights, okay, and then also make sure that there's some sort of understanding in the workplace where they respect the rights of others. You know what I mean? All that seems very difficult to orchestrate, but it really isn't when you understand things like the law and other people's rights. I think that's pretty much really all I wanted to say. That was just going through my mind. I'm making videos today because, right, like I said, right now I'm having issues with my internet, and things are really slow moving, and I don't really have a whole lot to do. I did a little bit of cleaning today, but I'm kind of twiddling my thumbs. I got way too much time on my hands, way too much time on my hands, and I will probably bring up the other case. upstairs and thumb through that as well. The rest of the CDs that I have in this case, I mean, I like them, but these particular CDs are like, you know, when it comes to meditative type music, relaxing music, are my favorites. The CDs I have that are in the other case are other, you know, I call them secular music, you know, musicians that I've listened to growing up, or you know, CDs and stuff like that that are from, like, you know, regular artists, like, you know, whether they be, you know, you know what I'm talking about, classic rock or something like that. So anyway, I think I'm going to go ahead and put this video to rest. I was thinking I wanted to share that thought about, you know, not money, having a lot of money, working a job that you're not really satisfied with really isn't worth it. Not, you know, because people still express their unhappiness. I remember working a job where I had this manager, and her boss came in because there's a pecking order, right? I was underneath her, and then somebody was over her, and he was basically like letting her know that she had to do some other kind of stuff because there was other people coming down to the company to see this, and she was already overworked, okay. And I remember her saying, "This just isn't worth it." And I understand what she's saying. You know, some things just aren't worth it if you're not really adjusted to it, if it's not really your passion, if it's not something you really care about. You're always going to feel like you're cheated. You know what I mean? And you're not going to enjoy your life at home, and you're not going to enjoy your life at work, and your life's going to be miserable. So I mean, I hope that maybe, you know, there are some people who care about the work life of other people, especially companies should. They really should take an interest in that. They want, if you really want a better workforce, those things do matter. They matter. They matter a lot, you know, and people won't be disappointed. You don't want to disappoint your workers. You should make them happy. You know what I mean? Because it's your company, and you want to make sure that you're the best, you know, and you want to have a staff that's filled with enthusiasm. You know, you'll get so much out of that. You'll get so much out of people if you just give them the platform of having a good work-life balance. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up this video. You know, if you want to check out those CDs, I do believe you can just like Google those. And like, for example, I'm highly going to recommend The Transplanet. And I'm also going to recommend The Autumn in New England by David Huntsinger. They're great. Oh, and then also The Isles of Avalon. I love this. I love this so much, you know. Like I said, you know, when it comes to different music, I may not be from like this particular background. This particular one, The Transplant, it's got music from all over the world, you know, and it's just, I think that a lot of times, like when you think about people, like when I was growing up, I used to get made fun of a lot because I liked music that other people didn't like, okay? And I'm not just talking about other black people who didn't like it. A lot of white kids weren't into it either. You're just like, I just like stuff. If it appeals to me, I'm going to listen to it. And I think sometimes what it really boils down to is just the fact that they've never been exposed to it. And if you hear something and it appeals to you, then you know you might be willing to do it. You just hear something one time and you may not like it, but there's other artists, there's other people that you might like, and it might not have anything to do with you. It's just the fact that it's just the fact that people tend to kind of thumb things down when they're not, if they've never had an opportunity to listen to it. You know what I mean? So if you want to expand yourself a little bit and you want to try something different, I'm going to go ahead and recommend those CDs. So anyway, I'm going to wrap up this video. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I will be back with another video sometime later. Take care. Bye-bye.